Well, there sure is a lot happening with the government and the situation with the attempted assassination of Donald Trump. I do believe that there is a connection to all of the things that I showed in that live video. And that was the point being that Hillary Clinton did not win the election against Donald Trump. And it was said that she wanted revenge. Well, she denied that, of course. But I do think it's very interesting, that connection, that Huma Abedin, her former aide, was getting married to Alex Soros. Just recently, they got engaged, and Alex Soros is more far left than his father. The very fact that George Soros, a Hungarian Jewish foreigner, has infiltrated our judicial system, and in particular the prosecutors, says everything to me. And they paid off prosecutors, the Soros family did, to try to infiltrate our judicial system. And these were the people. Alvin Bragg was the prosecutor that tried to put Trump away and to get him jailed before the election. Huma Abedin is like a second daughter to Hillary Clinton. So the connection with her to Hillary is that all of these people, Obama, Harris, Biden, they've all been meeting with the Soroses in the White House. Before the Biden administration, the Soroses visited the White House at least 17 plus times, and since Biden's been in office, 20 plus times. The prosecutor, Alvin Bragg, tried to get Trump put away so that he could not become president. And when that didn't work, the next step was the assassination attempt. Okay, the Soroses funded Black Lives Matter. They funded the riots that burned down buildings in cities all across America. They funded basically internal terrorism, and they should be held accountable, but they're not being held accountable. There had been some leanings to the radical left with the Secret Service director from things that I have read. If you think about the fact that they have been buying off these prosecutors in the judicial system, it makes sense to me now that this corrupt prosecutory system also took down the Crisley family that was on TV with lies and false accusations, which they now say they didn't even have any proof that Julie Crisley was involved at all. But she's in jail, okay? So they like to put people away that are Christians and trying to destroy a Christian family because they don't want families to be normal and succeed. So they're trying to bring that family down and divide them, put the father in one jail in Pensacola, Florida, and the mother is in another state. And that's just an outrage. And now they came out and said that she's not guilty and, but she's sitting in jail while they figure it out. This is not right. That they need to look into whether the Soros family bought out the prosecutor in that case, because it's corruption. And I happen to know in the county where I reside, the situation that happened when my mother passed and the whole thing with our house and the way that I was treated by my county and the judiciary system was absolutely abhorrent. So if these prosecutors, which, the judge says, oh, she didn't have any experience in the situation, so she goes ahead and slams somebody down that's innocent. corruption in the CIA and the FBI, as we know, that happened during the JFK and Bobby Kennedy assassinations is still going on. And as we know, we still cannot trust these groups because they've been infiltrated. Since Alex Soros has been photographed with Biden, Harris, and it shows that they are compromised by this foreign entity. Now, here's something interesting. Last night on Fox News, they were saying that this supposed 20-year-old, they found out he had 3 foreign accounts, and I'm wondering where these foreign accounts were, that maybe he was bought off to be the patsy or to fire shots at our President Donald Trump. There's no doubt there's a connection, and this is a deeply serious offense to have this Hungarian Jewish man that's a foreigner trying to control and create and wreak havoc throughout the United States. I also believe that they're responsible for the food problems, the prices, and the higher gas. They're trying to bring down America with this evil, corrupt family and man that is a billionaire, $25 billion, and he put his son in charge, who's more on the far, far left than he is. So he's in the White House pushing the agenda, funding these leftists that are far left to try to turn America into a globalist situation, thereby opening the border and bringing in all of these migrants and then paying for all of their hotel expenses and everything, while people here, like veterans, people like me that don't have a home, are, left out in the dark. So it's very, very corrupt and evil. And I do believe that this shooting of the former President Donald Trump is connected to all of them. Now, people did not know this connection, that just back in June, Donald Trump had said that Hillary and those people had been trying to perpetrate this stuff and put him in jail, with the prosecutor bought out by the Soros family. Hillary was threatened that she was going to be going to jail, that Donald Trump said he was going to reverse it to where they might actually go to jail and not him. They would have taken that as a direct threat. So this just proves that these accusations against Donald Trump were made up. And since the judicial system has been infiltrated by this foreign entity, paying off, getting these prosecutors in place that they want to do according to their will, according to their ways, then we need to take a look at the fact that they would attempt to have the former president assassinated before he could become president. That totally makes sense to me. And that they totally take on these little patsy people that they always show, like the little junior high school picture, the guy looks like a kid. This has been in every single shooting, the same MO, same characteristics of the same little twerp that has the big rifle. It's the same exact thing at every single shooting. Some little weakling has a gun. Well, they do have 10 people that reported on redacted that were there on the scene that said that there was a shooter up on the water tank. They have footage of it. The person kind of walked out from around the top point and the gunshots went off, and then they went back kind of around the point of the water tank. It could be possible that that person was some sort of agent that went up there to shoot the shooter on the roof. So that's a possibility because the gunshots rang out. To me, it's possible that they posted somebody up there, you know, at the last minute to try to take out the shooter. But what does not make sense to me, even if he had protective clothing, you know, the kid looks like he's got on regular clothing to me. And it was so hot that day, they had something like 240 people treated for heat exhaustion at the rally because they had been out there in the sun for quite a few hours, you know. It's still a mystery to me how someone could crawl up on a metal roof on an extremely hot day where 240 something people were treated for heat exhaustion, and he can lay on his belly on the metal roof and not get burned. And since the foreign entity, the Soroses, with their foundation, are trying to get in our judicial system and appoint the prosecutors that they want appointed, that tried to take Donald Trump down and put him in jail so he cannot be president, then we know that they will stop at nothing, including taking him out another way so that he can't become president. And since they're all hooked together, okay, Hillary, Obama, Biden, Harris, they're all connected and have been photographed with Alex Soros, the one who's more far left than his father, and been in the White House infiltrating it at least 20 times, then we know there is a connection to this and paying off some little patsy, perhaps, to try to do the job, to make the Secret Service that is leaning left to not protect Donald Trump. So these are just some of my thoughts on the situation, connecting the dots. So I'm just telling you these connections because I think the writing is on the wall of what they've tried to do to Donald Trump ever since the beginning. They've tried to slander him. They've tried to persecute him. They've tried to prosecute him. They brought false charges against him. And the other side had documents near his Corvette, and he's not put in jail. They're going to appoint a private investigation into this attempted assassination of Donald Trump, and hopefully they will see these connections that lead right to the White House. And certain celebrities are bought out, paid off. You know, just think about the internal terrorism that this family, Soros, has caused. You know, they had Antifa, they had, you know, the Black Lives Matter, they had all of these black people shot and tried to take down the police departments. So they're infiltrating the entire system with their corruption and their wickedness. And we have to leave it in God's hands. But justice will come, and the truth will come out. And nothing that is hidden is unknown to God. No schemes that they do in the background will go unnoticed by God, and God's justice will prevail. I think it's interesting that Donald Trump said that he was going to turn it around to where Hillary and some of these people were going to be the ones going to jail. So they're freaking out that he's going to become president and tried to attempt to take him out with the people that they set up to do the job. Very sad. It's a sad day in the United States of America, and we need to humble our hearts before the Lord. And I know there's a lot of godly, righteous people in the United States fighting for our freedom from foreign entities that come and buy out our judicial system and try to go against our Constitution. So hopefully the authorities will investigate this and these connections and see the truth of what really happened and do something about prosecuting these evildoers. That's what needs to happen. And please like the video and get the algorithms going. Subscribe to my channel, and please don't forget me when it comes to donations. I'm pretty much forgotten for the most part, except for maybe 2 people, and it's very difficult in this day and age to try to make it, and I really could use some help. Thank you very much, and I will talk to you in the next video. God bless everyone, and God bless the United States of America, and we pray for the healing of Corey's family and everything that they're going to have to be dealing with without having their father and husband. It's going to be very difficult to get used to that. And we pray for the angels and heavenly hosts to surround President Donald Trump and his whole family against this tyranny. I wanted to let you know that back in the 1990s, Mom and I were doing research about certain groups, and the Council on Foreign Relations actually came out and said that it was going to be very painful for the Americans, but they intended to make America a third world country. So they've been at it ever since, infiltrating with foreign entities and bringing foreigners across the border to try to affect the voting system and everything. They are so full of corruption, and God's justice will prevail. Until next video, I'll see you next time. Have a good afternoon. Good night.